I'm still bringing people out. There we go. Welcome back to the show, my people. KJ, that was nervy, brother. That was nervy, bro.
Oh Man United are so frustrating. That game should have been a 4-5 niller. But no, our players like to do foolishness, man. But we got the most important thing, which is the win, which is the 3 points. We've been needing that, especially with the form that be going on. Now, instead of 3 wins out of 4, it's 2 wins out of 3 with 2 of those games at home. It's it's it, it's in the balance. We are in control of our own destiny. Today's game was difficult, not because Wolves were spectacular or really good, but we made it hard for ourselves, making the wrong decisions, players just not turning up. Um, but yeah, if these guys can just be serious for 3 more games, we could get top 4 comfortably. People want to chat about Ten Hag. This is going to be a tangent. People want to talk about Ten Hag. There's been that stat going around. It's like, oh, he lost more games than Ollie in both of his single seasons. Well, he's got more wins than Ollie in his first season. He's on course to potentially draw the amount of wins that Ollie got in his second season. He's also got the most wins of a debut manager at Manchester United. He's on 20 wins, third most wins in the Premier League. So when people want to chat on Ten Hag saying he's this, that, and the third, he's not that good, he's overrated, people do that, they're giving too much praise. Think about the levels that my man is achieving. He's had to be dealing with these foolish guys, these unserious guys. He has to be dealing with them. And he's getting them to a position where no one thought at the start of the season we would be at. We're in a cup final that, hey, listen, if we end up getting it, then cool. But we're in another cup final, already won a cup. We just need to make it over this top 4 line. Playing like this is techie. But yeah, man, frustrating game overall. But I'm just relieved that we got at least more than 1 goal and a win, and Garnacho's back, and I'm happy about that.
Listen, the result was probably never in doubt, but at 1-0, Dizzy, there's always that chance of a crazy equaliser. But Garnacho again stepping up from that bench and showing Man United fans what he's all about.
And bringing production. Production is what we need. Production is all we need at the moment. Anybody with eyes could have saw after the Sevilla game that United are going to suck themselves into a top 4 battle here. Who we're going to be up against, that was up in the wind, but we were definitely going to be sucked into a top 4 battle. And people get sucked into, well, Antony looks like a dangerous man. Sancho, he needs to get on the ball more. He needs to, start. He's looking promising. We're past the point of danger, man, and promising and making good runs. We are at the point of the season where if you're not producing, then you just can't be on the pitch. That's just what it is, because it's not good enough. We need goals and we need to not concede. That's just what it is. So, and one not enough, because this United team, it looks like we have a mistake in us at this point in the season. So yeah, I'm happy with the win, but I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot that I saw that leaves me still concerned from the top 4 race for sure.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Staffy, from your point of view as a Red, what did you make of the overall performance, and do you see United growing some confidence from this win today?
Happy with the result, not happy with the performance. I've been talking all week about how a weeks of rest is gonna give us that bounce back that we needed. I was talking about how much we played so many games in such a short time, and then we start having bad results with bad performances. And now that 1 week of rest is going to help the players physically, mentally. They need some time on the training pitch with the manager. And I'm not going to lie to you, I did not see anything different this week. This game. Like, it just didn't look like they've worked on anything. You know what I mean? You got Varane back and you got Garnacho back, so we got a little bit of depth back. But I didn't really see anything different this week. You know, it's just like another typical Man United performance where, yes, we're creating some chances. We still can't finish. I'm not happy that both of our goals came off the counter. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just not happy with that. You know, I heard you talk about, before you brought the panel on, you were saying that they played a low block in the majority of the game. I respectfully disagree with that, Terry. I felt like they gave us a lot of space to run into. Our most dangerous chances came because they left us a lot of space to run into. And yes, on another day, we would be winning 4 or 5-0. but I didn't see us good on the ball when we had the possession. This is why the game ended 51% possession for them. I can't say that we were good in a low block when they've had more possession. I was really unimpressed with the way that we won. We got the result, and I'm happy with that. But I wanted to see a better performance, if I'm being honest.
I hear what you're saying there, and this is for me about games and stages. Up until we scored our goal, we had more of the ball by about 7 or 8%. They were sitting deeper. We get our goal, and what Man United are trying to do, and this is why I don't always think. Listen, I know how City play. It's what City do. We're not there yet. What you then do is you let your team have the ball. You let them try and attack you. You give them a little bit of confidence, so you try and counter into that space, and that's what I think we were trying to do. I agree, we weren't clinical enough, but the game plan worked. It isn't on Ten Hag to put the ball in the back of the net. It's on his players. For me, the game plan was we'll dominate the ball at times and we'll get the lead, and we did. But there are also moments where we're going to let you have the ball. We're going to invite you out. This happens in football. This happens in my second favorite sport, in MMA or in boxing. Sometimes you're the aggressor. Sometimes you play possum and let people come onto you and you try and counter. We need to be more clinical. I think if Man United do that, we kind of tie these games off. We nip them in the bud a lot earlier. And that's what we should have done today, because 27 attempts on goal to 5 is... By the way, we average only 17 attempts per game. So we were 10% above our average today. So I don't care about the possession. I care about what you do with it. And we were far better with our 49% of possession than they were their 51%. It's just we didn't put that ball in the back of the net. For me personally, I hear where you're coming from on the performance. But I suppose it's how you quantify performance. I was happy with everything, barring our finishing. Because if we finish just 2 or 3 more of these chances, we walk away as 4 or 5-0 winners, and everybody says we routed them.
I don't disagree with you, Terry. That's what I'm saying. I'm happy with the result. I'm not gonna sit here and bitch when we just won a game that most people said we won't win because we've been on a bad run and we won't finish top 4. I am happy with that. I'm just saying, for my own expectations and what I've been saying, I thought that we would come out and play a little bit better. I didn't think for large parts of the game we played what I expected us to do. In the long run, we still want to play what we call the Ten Hag way. And today wasn't really an example of that. We still got the result. I get it. But yet again, this is a team, Terry, that was like on the beach. They had 0 shots on target. It just shows you the level they bring. I expected us to win. That's what I'm saying. This performance was nothing new to me. I just was hoping for a little bit better.
I thought you were creating a lot of good chances. You had 13 shots from inside the box. How many times you have seen Man United do this? I thought today just proves one thing: you need a striker. If you had a good striker today, you would have scored like 4 goals. Bruno Fernandes was everywhere. Even Sancho wasn't that bad today. I thought today Martial proved that he cannot be the striker for Man United, to be honest. When you have that many touches inside the box and your striker cannot get a decent shot on target, and it's left to Antony or Bruno to create something, I thought you were everywhere. The team was moving really well. Bruno Fernandes was good. Eriksen controlled the ball when it was needed. You don't have to have 80% of possession, but when you had the ball, you created a lot of chances and you reached the dangerous areas. It's that final touch towards the goal. And to be honest, it's what you have. Just you have to accept that this is what you have now at the moment. The product that you have is a result of having Martial on the team and only having Rashford scoring the goal. This is the product that you're going to get with these guys.
I want to point something out as well. Man United's home form this year. We've only conceded 8 goals at home all season. To put that into perspective, Arsenal, 22 goals they've conceded at home. Liverpool, 16. Man City, top of the league, 17 goals conceded. However, goals scored: City 59, Liverpool 45, Arsenal 48. We've only scored 30 goals at home this year. To put that into perspective, Leeds were 17th of 25. As an example, that's our issue at home anyway. It's scoring goals. And even away from home, obviously we concede a lot more away from home because of some of those batterings that we've had. Only 21 goals away from home. 30-odd goals more Arsenal have scored than Man United this year. And there needs to be an improvement in that area. And Tom actually called that out earlier, said Arsenal 83 goals, United 51 levels. Terry, you're not close. And I know we're not right now, but look at the jump that Arsenal made last year to this year. The funniest thing that I love about rivals is they talk about how quickly Arsenal have turned it around, and it's amazing. With the right purchases in the summer, Man United killed these games off. And when you start killing these games off, that is when your opponents come to you with a different mentality. That is why when people go to the Etihad, most of them are beaten before a ball's kicked. Most teams that go to the Emirates right now are beaten before a ball is kicked because they know you're gonna score goals. And as much as you can keep clean sheets, if you're not scoring goals, I think opponents are always feeling like they've got a chance, and that's what we need to kill off.
And it's not just the scoring goals that's an issue. It's players that aren't Bruno delivering final passes. Today, Antony, oh my Lord. I know he got an assist, but he should have had at least 3 because the way that this guy was wasting the chances to either pass the ball cleanly, it was disgusting. Like this guy clearly only responds to violence because when it comes to fighting other players on the pitch, he's ready for that. He'll be up for that. So I'm saying, Man United players, they need to fight him. Martial in that changing room should have fought him. And we're like, bruv, you need to pass that ball instead of shooting. So many, like Sancho as well, should have been like, bro, you need to actually get that onto your left foot and pass it to me. Or you actually use your right foot. He got an assist with his right foot today. Like, why? Him today epitomized Man United. You can do something really good once, but once out of 4 instead of 3 out of 4. We need that consistency from other players that aren't Bruno Fernandes in creating these chances because, boy, what's the point of even buying a striker if only one player can get him the ball in the box?
But KJ, you don't think that Antony today actually played better? The shooting was better today. If it wasn't for the goalkeeper, he would have scored a couple of goals.
No,
you really don't like. I'm not that Antony's biggest fan, but I thought today he was really positive on the goal. Like, yes, he should have scored that first chance that he got, like with the left. But in the second half, he had 2 shots that were saved, like next to the post. I thought he was okay today.
The reason why I'm not impressed is because he's been doing that all season. He didn't show me anything new to his game besides a right-footed pass for the assist. That's all. Like he burst. Like Mo, you got to remember he's had chances to not just try and curl it with his left foot, shoot with your right foot, or if you're gonna shoot with your left, maybe try a pile driver, maybe try a arrowing shot in the corner instead of bending it all the time. He just needs to actually adapt his game to stop being one thing and one thing only, which is my left foot and left foot curlers. He needs to adapt his game because when he burst through,
he tried.
When he drive through the flipping midfield after getting like someone tried to tackle him, that was brilliant. I was like, yes, that's what we want to see. And then he goes and stutters, taking the ball across to Sancho, and next thing you know, we don't score. Because it just takes too damn long because he's not on his right foot, he's on his left foot.
KJ, but Mo isn't wrong. I mean, both of you guys are right in a way where, like, I do agree with Mo. I think this is Antony's best game. But you're also right because, like, if we're being honest, he could have had a hat trick of GAs today, whether it's goals or assists, I don't care. But he literally could have been the final pass or the scorer for like at least 3 chances. But yet again, to Mo's point, you need to play good to get yourself in these situations, whether you score and it gets saved. So like he could have scored today, but the keeper had a couple good saves. Or yes, if his decision making was a little bit better and he squared a couple of these chances there was one to Eriksen, a couple to Sancho and Martial. So I get what you're saying. But as Mo's saying, this is probably is his best game because everything was coming down that right-hand side. Everything was coming from there. So if his decision making was a little bit better, yes, we would have won by like 4 or 5. But yet again, like Mo said, you need to play that good to even get yourself in these situations to have this talk. So I don't think Mo is wrong at all to say that. To say that he's been doing that, yes, he's been doing that in some games, but I think this was his best game. He just didn't have the end product to show that, look, he had 2 goals today or he had 2 assists today. You know what I'm saying?
He finally did 2 near post shots, KJ. Finally, he did 2 near post. Exactly, and he almost scored. I think you're watching the game with a fan shirt. I think KJ. I think you were watching the game with a fan shirt. Of course, you're nervous. It's 1-0. Of course, you're nervous. It's 1-0. You wanted the second goal. You're scared of the 3 points. But watching the game, to be honest, without having a dog in this fight, I thought that he had a good game today. Finally, he had a good game.
You're just mad, KJ. Mo hasn't even joined the Football Terrace workforce yet, and he's giving you an appraisal there. I love it. I love it.
You know what it is? You know what it is for me? It's a case of we won today, so we can look at it and say, oh, no, he had a really good game. He was creating chances in XYZ. But the reality of the situation is, if Wolverhampton go up and score and they shut up shop, it's another case of they weren't clinical enough in finding the cutting edge passes. And for me personally, it's about the result. The performances are good, yes, but we're at the result end of the season, where you could create a bunch of chances, but if you don't get 3 points on the board, it doesn't matter. If you fall out of top 4 at this point, it doesn't matter what he was creating in the games because it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I think with Antony, I think there's a player in there. I think there's an individual that can be unearthed. I look at it very much, and I watched number 1 and number 2 the other day with the family over the bank holiday weekend of the Karate Kid. And we moved on to number 3, and I was trying to explain to my daughter. She was very confused, where Mr. Miyagi says that you can create a bonsai tree out of a plant that isn't a bonsai tree because the bonsai is inside. I'm not going to do the accent because that would be rude. And that's what Antony's got. Antony's, as he says to Danielson, your best karate is still inside. Now time let out. That's how I feel about Antony.
But you did the accent anyways.
He said I won't do the accent, and you did it anyway.
I didn't do the accent. I didn't do the accent.
It was good. It was good.
When you speak like Mr. Miyagi, you've got to do it in his English. So he says, your best football, Antony, is still inside. Now time let out. That's what you've got to say to it. Like when he was teaching the crane technique, it's one of my favorite lines in movie history is, if do right, no can defense. And if Antony makes the right decision, no can defense. It has to be done. It absolutely has to be done. Big up Mr. Miyagi, by the way. Legend. Absolutely. I didn't do the accent. I did the words.
You did a little bit. I don't think you noticed it.
I think you should go back and watch it. Yeah, you should go back and watch
it. Was good.
It's a comedy character to a degree. Well, then we got nominated for an Oscar in the first film. Anyway, we digress massively.